We made it again. We're here. Are we muted, though, is the question.
No, we're not.
Yes! Yes! We've done it. We did it again. The thing.
The thing.
It. If you will. It.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm dealing with YouTube chat.
1, 2.
Kick out.
2. There's only 2, Johnny. There's 2. Got the shoulder up. I'm pretty good at counting it, too. I do it a lot.
Oh, do you now?
Yes. Yes. There's a lot more 2 counts in wrestling than 3 counts. A lot more. However, one thing I've noticed being in the ring is that there are also more 3 counts than 1 counts. Wrap your head around that one for a few minutes. That's a little bit of referee math going on for you right there.
True. How's it going, everybody?
Joe,
How we doing?
Jen, Queen, everybody's here. What's up, Game Smashing?
Jen, Queen, game smashing.
The smasher of games.
What kind of games? That's the question.
Head games. Always run around and playing head games.
No, keep going. You're on a roll.
I don't know the rest of the word. I don't know the rest of the words after that part of the chorus. That's all. People play that song in the bowling alley all the time.
So why are you singing if you're not going to finish it?
Because I don't know the rest of the words. Da, 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 head games. I don't know the rest of the words, man. Somebody DM me those words. I'll sing it on screen one of these days.
All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Belts Reignited post show here on Twitch and YouTube. Yes, please do. I am your host. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, as always. And man, the start of the Grand Prix tournament has commenced. And boy, what some great action we had tonight over on Ignition tonight. Before we get into everything that happened and the first round of the Grand Prix tournament, let's introduce the panel tonight, and by tonight, and by dudes, I mean only one dude. He is your resident masshole himself, the one and only Marky Pins.
What's good, everybody? Well, you're a dude, too. There's 2 dudes here. There's 2 dudes. But anyway.
Yeah, but I said my name already.
You did say your name. I'm the other dude tonight. I'll be the other dude. What's good, everybody? I am Marky Pins, and yes, we heard Remy D say it at the beginning of the show. And he said it a lot more illustriously than I can, but he told all the gentlemen to start their engines. And my goodness, if we didn't get a fast start off to round 1 of the Grand Prix tournament, your bracket's still good? Mine got toasted, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
We also will have a graphic to remind you guys on our second round matchups, and we might analyze it a little bit and see who we think might move on to the semifinals.
Prediction time.
We like those here.
We do.
All right. Let's not waste any more time. It was a big night. And of course, Ignition started off with Remy D. And thank God Triple I is not here, because he would be praising up and down about the outfit of Remy D tonight.
I mean, you got to say a few syllables about that hat, though. That hat was absolutely beautiful. It was aerodynamic. It had holes in it, so the wind wouldn't blow it off. It would have gone right through. I mean, and it just looked good on the man. The silver outfit. I'm telling you, it gets windy. It's still wintertime, even though it's early March. The snow's still falling in some places. We're about to get walloped with a doozy over here in the Northeast in the next 24 hours. But yeah, no, Remy D comes out and gets the crowd all kinds of fired up. Good crowd tonight in the Wimmer, and they saw some fantastic action. And we get right into a main event level match first for our first round of 16 match, didn't we, dude?
For those of you who watched last year, you all know that Remy D was the winner of last year's first annual Grand Prix tournament. So It's only fitting for the past winner to start everybody's engines and let's get this year's Grand Prix off and running. And boy, did it ever, with your opening contest of the first round of the Grand Prix tournament. You had Bruce Wayans going up against Curtis Cole. We've had a lot of pay-per-view type matches here in the first round. What did you think about this one?
This was a big matchup. This was huge for the first round. Bruce Waynes, we all know, has been having some trouble lately. Really hasn't won a match in a long time. Has not been the same since the title match with David Drake. He's just not been himself. We've seen him tooling around with Atiba. Atiba trying to get that confidence back up in him, but he keeps having hard match after hard match, not getting the wins. But if you see him, he keeps coming out. He keeps trying to put that front on that he is the final boss and that he's going to get one done. And tonight, he gets himself back in the win column in a really big way. Bruce Waynes does advance over Curtis Cole. Not for lack of trying on Curtis Cole's part. In the beginning, though, Boss took the huge advantage. The big start in the corner, the 5 turnbuckles, the prettiest elbow. We see the Gotham sidekick. He's off to a real fast start. But Cole's been around this block before, man. He knows this neighborhood. He's been in the car more than a few times, picked up a few times. So he ends up coming back, dodges the corner run, hits the buckle. Nice hot shot from Curtis Cole. He's using everything for his advantage. But Boss gets a little bit of space. He gets him up for the big power bomb. Misses the second rope elbow, goes up for the second rope, misses that. It's going very back and forth. Curtis Cole gets a quick enziguri on the Boss and ends up getting out of the ring, gets out of the side, ends up picking up the bat. This is where things get very interesting here in this match. This has been a good contested back and forth match here. Both guys know each other very well. Both guys know where their power stems from, and they've been using it the entire time. Curtis Cole goes outside, gets a little frustrated, grabs the bat, and brings the bat in the ring. And he's going to take a swing at the final boss. Ref Benny grabs the bat, gets it out of dodge, which that's a smart thing. But I think this was Cole's plan the whole time, because the minute that Benny turned his back, he goes for the uppercut. I'm sorry, the one-footed uppercut, should we say, to the place that shall not be spoken of. But Boss is hipper than that. He blocks it, and he picks him up, and he goes around 3-4 times for the big batarang and covers Curtis Cole tight. I mean, he had him rolled up into half a pretzel for the 1, 2, 3 in this match. And Bruce Waynes, dude, gets his first win in a long, long time at a wicked clutch time, getting himself into the second round of the Grand Prix tournament here. Is some of that stuff with Atiba working, you think? Like some of the, the fortitude and just keep moving forward? Is this a new boss? Or is this maybe the beginning of seeing some of that old boss coming back, you think?
This is the old boss. This is the old boss 100%. If he was going the Atiba route, you wouldn't be seeing what you saw tonight. You'd be seeing bats. You'd be seeing any kind of trick plays and shenanigans during the course of this match just to get a win. Grabbing the tights, grabbing the rope on a roll up or whatever. But no, Bruce did it his way, and like we've all seen in the past years, Bruce Waynes with a batarang to finish off his opponents for the 1, 2, 3 and breaking the slump. I think it's been close to, October was when he lost the belt?
We're talking like 4 months now.
4 months, almost 5 months now since he lost the title, and he hasn't won a match since. This is must be a very good feeling for Bruce Waynes. So
it's huge for him at this point. He's needed this win. He needs to get back up into like the feel of things. Like he kind of fell off for a while, but this could be a really, really what they say, hit the ground running. A great way.
Technically, he shouldn't even be here. Technically,
Things
he shouldn't
change,
even be
brother.
here. Oh yeah, they do.
Things change, brother.
We'll see what happens. So yeah, great way to start off the Grand Prix tournament with Bruce Waynes and Cole. Moving on, we had our eyes on this one on Tuesday. Echo versus Sombra Azteca Jr. Your thoughts on this? Kind of our little flashback to last Sunday between Hugo's and RMP.
It very much was.
It felt the same vibe.
It had that vibe. We've seen Echo, and we know he can go, and he is the Mockingbird for a reason. He can take those moves, make them his own, and put his own flair on it. Sombra, we know, has it in the ring. He can go from pillar to post and have no problem going with anybody in the ring, and he proved that tonight. This match was a very big stalemate for a very long time between each other, between the takedowns, between the knuckle locks, between the head scissors and the reversals and such like that. It was both of these athletes looking into a mirror against each other. Sombra, one of the most athletic moves in the match, he turns up the volume. He ends up getting himself a standing head scissors on Echo and comes off the rope, turns around into a tilt-a-whirl arm dragged onto Echo, which was really good. And then they trade massive chops. I mean, huge chops. Echo did not have a shirt on this evening, and I'm telling you, when Sombra chopped him, it just reverbed through the Wimmer, through my head and my earpiece. It was extremely loud. But then Echo manages to turn it right back around, gets his chops back on it. It was very, very 50-50 for like 90% of this match. When Echo does turn it around, though, he gets that chop. He gets a double underhood, nice suplex in the center of the ring, gets a quick near fall, gets Sombra in the corner, and this is the beginning of the end. Big running double knees to the chest. And then that gorgeous, he kind of like pushes Sombra out of the corner. And we haven't seen Echo use it in months, but it's gorgeous when he does. That float over cutter that he does, that's got like a half turn, and he just beautiful, takes him down. Sombra can't get up from that. And Echo gets the 1, 2, 3 and the ticket into the second round. This was a great showing out of Echo and Sombra at this point in time. We've seen both of them on Worlds Collide the other day, which if you haven't seen it, check it out. Go back and watch it. When these two styles of wrestling collide, it was a hell of a show to watch. You'll see that. And tonight we see a little bit more of that. But Echo standing tall at the end of the night, punching his ticket into the second round.
All right, really not much to say here. I mean, Echo,
no, yeah, it was straightforward. Echo's the man.
Echo punching his ticket into the second round of the Grand Prix tournament, and boy, we'll talk about his second round matchup later on in the show.
Yeah, did you notice that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hey now.
Now this one I think had everybody interested in, because originally it was a mystery opponent for Briscoe Crown, the bracket buster from last year. He ends up going up against Ramrock, who I believe has been around before and is a friend of Severino Correntes. And we all know who Severino is. We know his tenure here. We've known what he's done here before.
He tells you to do more squats, and if you don't, you do even more squats after that.
Yeah. So Briscoe Crown ends up going up against this mystery opponent, which is Ramrock.
You want to talk about a difference in size. You know Briscoe Crown. He is fast. He is that cruiserweight style. And with that speed and that quickness, but still that power. I don't think enough people give him credit, for his power that he does have in such a small frame. But he does a good job against other bigger fellas. Let me tell you, this Ramrock is a much bigger fella. Much bigger. You can tell this is a power wrestler. He's a guy who knows the moves, but at the same time may not be so familiar, let's say, with somebody the size and quickness of Briscoe Crown. And Briscoe does a good job early of kind of stopping the big man in his tracks. He gets a nice headlock, hangs onto it really, really tight. You could tell that Ramrock tried to throw him off, but Briscoe managed to hold on. But then Ramrock does go to that power, pushes him back, knee and ankle shots, and Briscoe's ankle just gives out early in this match. We've seen the last few weeks that everybody has seen that there is a target on Briscoe's left leg, and they have been shooting and hitting the bullseye every single week. How this kid is still walking to the ring and out each week is amazing. It's a real testament to his intestinal fortitude that he has. And Briscoe is showing that week in and week out, not just recently, but I mean, go back to last year's Grand Prix until now. And that kid shows more heart than anybody has a right to have, let alone somebody in professional wrestling. So the kid's doing a great job. But Ramrock just attacks that leg just to see how much heart the kid really has. He exposes that ankle. He takes off his wrestling shoe, kicks, knees. Briscoe Crown is in absolute agony. He grabs the ankle and just wrenches it every which way that he can. Drops the knee on the ankle. I mean, any way you can hurt this ankle, Ramrock is using all of that mass in his frame to hurt that ankle. Briscoe Crown gets a little flurry, though. He manages to get out of the way on one foot, get a couple shots in, and starts going right to the back of the neck, which is good because that gets the big man like disoriented, which it ends up doing. He ends up getting him disoriented, a couple big clubs to the back of the neck. But then Ramrock does get a hold of Briscoe. Looks like he's either bringing him up for a suplex or an atomic drop. But Briscoe manages to kind of like just dead weight himself. You can see he shifts his legs, drops himself into a crowning achievement, and Ramrock doesn't know what hit him until the lights turn back on and the referee is letting him know that he already counted to 3 5 minutes ago. And Briscoe Crown manages to steal a win here on 1 foot, with only one shoe on.
Would you count this another upset?
I honestly would right now, yes. With Briscoe's like half a leg situation, the way he's been, this is a huge upset against a guy more than twice his size in the first round of the Grand Prix tournament. This one is an upset. Yes. Nowhere near as big as last year when he beat Damon Ace.
No.
But this, nowhere near that big of an upset. But this is another, yet again, situation where Briscoe Crown stepped up to the batter's box in the 9th with 2 outs and the bases loaded and came through. And now he's punching his ticket to the second round.
It's definitely the upset of this year's tournament as well.
I agree. So far, anyway, absolutely. Absolutely. But Briscoe Crown showing up and showing the hell out. Good job to the kid.
Next up, we were supposed to have Atiba versus Sergey, but ever since David Drake jumped Sergey on charge, we haven't seen Sergey since. So because of that, he moves on automatically to the next round. He basically gets a freaking bye.
That was a legit buy.
Yeah.
All things considered, that is Atiba legitimately owing David Drake $20 and saying, hey, thanks for the first round buy.
Yeah, basically. However, Danger Dean was not going to let that fly, of course. People wanted a match. People paid money to watch a match, and they were going to get a match. And out comes AJ Hero all the way from Arizona.
And, you know, they got themselves a pretty good match.
They did. I was very surprised.
This kid, AJ Hero, is good. He's quick. He's very, very fluid. We know Atiba has all these quantities in bunches. That's not even in question. But when you see somebody new come out like this against somebody the stature of Atiba in Rocky Mountain Pro, look, love him or hate him for his, you know, his tactics and his antics. You put him in an elite match situation and the man comes through. He is one hell of a wrestler between the ropes. And AJ Hero gave him a lot to think about this evening. AJ comes out wicked fast. Big strikes. He comes out with the shoulder block, and I think he bounced 3 feet in the air off of Atiba. That's how high he came off the ropes for the big shot. Now, Atiba's a bigger guy, so it's going to take more force. And I think AJ's used to this, being in matches against bigger fellas, because he's not the biggest guy at all right here in this match or in many of these other matches this evening. But he knows how to use his power. He's using those areas, and he does a really good job. Atiba does end up regaining the advantage his way. More strikes and kicks and suplexes, like slows the match right down to a crawl. That's where Atiba has liked it lately. That's where he's getting his wins, and he knows what he's doing, and he slows it down. Big suplex. He gets the chin lock from the back, hangs on to the chin lock for a while, slams AJ's face into the ground. I think it looked like by his hair. Ref didn't see it because it was behind him. But either way, he's taking these little shortcuts, but getting his job done. Now, AJ gets a chance to fire up. He dodges the big Dragon's Fang. Atiba was looking for it out of the corner. Didn't quite get it. He dodges the Fang, gets himself up on the top rope, and gets a huge crossbody. But it was so big off the top rope that he bounced off of Atiba and couldn't get the cover right into it. So then Atiba kind of works his way up. AJ's going for the big super kick. He starts tuning up the band in the corner, and somewhere Balam Links, his mouth is watering, and he's tuning up the band. And next thing you know, Atiba dodges the kick and goes underneath, sweeps the leg, and grabs the ankle for the ankle lock. And AJ has to tap out to this. But what a great showing by AJ Hero. Fantastic showing by AJ. And you know what? For the beginning of this match, for Atiba not wanting anything to do with this, he hung around and wrestled himself a pretty damn good match. So if nothing else, he'll be just as warm as the other competitors going into the second round. Whether you care or whether you don't, it's a fact one way or the other. That Atiba is a threat in this tournament, and he will be as long as his name is still in the bracket. But dude, talk to me about AJ. Tell me your opinion about him real quick. We've seen some newcomers come into Rocky Mountain Pro and have a really hard time in given situations, but AJ
did not.
No, kid can hang, huh?
He definitely can. Shocked the holy hell out of me when I saw him go in there with Atiba.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing about AJ in this match, no fear.
No,
No
none.
fear whatsoever. He took it right to Atiba from the very beginning of this match all the way to the very end. And quite honestly, I'm sure he got some good eyes because there might be a chance that we might see AJ Hero back in the future for Rocky Mountain Pro.
I hope we really do. That kid could really be a contender. He's got a good look and he's got good moves. He's wicked fluid. He knows how to make his decisions very quickly. Like, kid's good. Kid's really good. Let's shoot.
There's Mr.
Kid's
Happy
really
in chat, and he goes, I know AJ Hero. That kid's got mad heart. And
Yeah,
we
I'll
saw it
second
tonight.
that 1,000%.
We saw it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, everybody on YouTube, Mr. Happy, part of Three Ring Circus. Curtsy.
Our favorite clown on the show. What's up, buddy?
But yeah, no, it was very impressive. Was that a debut from AJ, or did AJ show up before?
I don't remember seeing him since we've been dudes with RMP. But man, could I see him again, please?
It will be a debut for Dudes and Belts. How about that?
That sounds good
At
to
the
me.
very
Yeah,
least.
Making his Dudes and Belts debut. AJ Hero. I like the kid. No, I could definitely stand to see him again on many shows.
All right.
Can we talk about this next match,
so what I'm going to do, and I know he's been chomping at the bit for this one.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, because I know there's not going to be a lot to talk about here in this match, and thank God there isn't. But we had our next first round matchup in the Grand Prix tournament, and that was Kendrick Laro versus Johnny Casanova, one half of your reigning tag team champions. And oh my God, Marky is getting ready to explode. So, sir, you have the floor.
Suck it, Casanova. There, I'm done. Okay, so the next match. No, I'm just kidding. So for anybody that didn't see it, Kendrick Laro goes one-on-one against Johnny Casanova. There was only one thing that happened. Then one other thing happened. And then one other thing happened. The ref rang the bell. Kendrick rang Casanova's bell with a big old boot. And then the mask went flying so far that it rang the bell. Kendrick Laro, you are my new favorite human being. This was fantastic. Kendrick punching his ticket early. Hey, and you know what? In Johnny Casanova's defense, I'll give him this much.
You have a defense for him? I can't wait to hear this.
It's not a very good one. Trust me. It's more like a public defender defense.
Oh, okay.
It's not very good.
Having faith in our system, huh?
Not really. I've never been through it, so I don't have any firsthand knowledge. However, Johnny, you made a good run at Kendrick before you ate that boot for dinner. That was a solid 4 steps that you took in the middle of the ring, and I hope nap time was fun time. And Kendrick Laro is in the second round of the Grand Prix tournament.
Your starting lineup coming out huge in this first round.
2-0 so far, baby. 2-0.
There's another team that's 2-0 as well, and we'll get into that shortly as we continue on. You sure you don't want to say anything else about Johnny Casanova and Kendrick? I think you said quite enough, huh?
Anything more that I would say about Johnny Casanova in this moment in time would violate terms of service. So I am only going to congratulate the big man, the Big Easy himself, Kendrick Laro, and best of luck in the second round, brother.
All right. Well, while you were saying suck it to Johnny Casanova during that 5-second match, D-Hort13 gifted 5 Rocky Mountain Pro memberships to the community in chat here. I believe we have Mr. Happy, Yaden, Melly, Pins was gifted.
That's my wife, Mrs. Pins. Thank you.
And 2 random ones that haven't shown up yet on the screen.
Thank you, D-Hort, dude. You're the man around here. Thank you very, very much.
I have a funny feeling
now everybody can enjoy these.
I think D-Hort is starting to become the new Conductor Mike on YouTube. He is the Conductor Mike of YouTube.
I remember Conductor Mike.
Yeah.
I remember Conductor Mike.
Yeah.
T-Hort, thank you very, very much.
All right. Oh, you guys will have access for the membership only stream that'll be coming up in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We're going to have a fun time with that. That'll be a good time. That'll be a good watch. I promise you. That'll be a good watch.
Thanks to D-Hort for that.
Wicked.
All right. Moving on here, we had probably the biggest horse fight of the night. In Damon Ace versus Ubato. Yes, this was 100% a thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If your thing is horse fight, then this was your thing. Look, this was not pretty. There were no go-behinds and beautiful, hammerlock reversals. And no, none of that. These were just the big guys just hitting each other as hard as they could. The whole match is a slug. Basically, the first beginning part of the match.
I'm sorry, but I looked over and I saw Psycho Joe's last comment. Did you see the spelling on that one? I let the Corrente one go because you spelled Corrente wrong too, but this one this one is butchered.
Well, yeah, a lot actually. Yeah, but
his last name was shown on the screen like 10 times tonight.
I mean, it's not Psycho Joe. I take great pleasure. I don't know if Psycho Joe knows. I take great pleasure in giving Johnny Casanova the gears any possible time that I can, and it's usually pretty damn funny. The fact that somebody in chat is misspelling his name wrong, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you did it on purpose because of how ridiculous it is, that you're like my new best friend in the chat right now. But Casanova couldn't wear orange because he had that stupid Bill Lambia t-shirt on, his brand new idol, because he has a mask on that he cut holes in. Johnny Casanova's going through like a wicked identity crisis right now. He is just an absolute disaster. Bill Lambier had no problem if you saw his face, because if you saw his face, that meant you were about to be punched in the mouth, because he punched a lot of guys in the mouth back in the day. If Casanova remembered that part of Lambier's personality, Casanova might be doing a little better instead of eating a boot and counting lights and counting sheep and anything else that he has to do to fall asleep. But I'm giving Psycho Joe credit that he misspelled that name on purpose because it's funnier that way.
Go ahead.
What were we talking about again? I'm sorry, I got messing around with
Damon and
Ubato and Damon. I'm sorry. I love making fun of Johnny. I don't know what it is.
It was part of my fault. But
no, that's okay. That's okay. You gave me like extra opportunity to really grind the gears, and I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Kev Rooney, Casanova is going to be scrubbing Kendrick's boot print off his face for a week.
Dude, he should leave it there. It's an improvement. It helps. Helps.
All right,
it's
go.
He can exfoliate. All right, anyway, so Ubato and Damon. Let's go back to the horse fight here of what was really happening in this ring.
Oh, I have to interrupt you again. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
That's okay. These are good things.
These are good things. Ned becoming a member for 1 month for an RMP supporter. Thank you, Ned. Ignition was amazing tonight, is the message.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Love tournament time myself. This is tournament time, baby. Here we go. So Ubato and Damon slugging it out in basically every corner of the ring. Just nothing fancy. Forearms and punches to the face. Just knees in the corner. Just absolutely just giving each other every bit. These are two big fellas that hit like two big fellas, but they can take the hits too. We've seen both of them do it. They trade shoulder blocks in the middle. Neither one can gain an advantage. Ubato reels a little bit more than Damon does from the impacts.
What's up,
Damon stands a lot sturdier, but Ubato's still up on his feet, not going down. They both double clothesline each other. They don't go down. Then they double clothesline each other again. And then they both finally go down. This has just been like a beatdown to each other. There's been nothing technical about this. Ubato is first to get to his feet, and he makes a run at Damon, and Damon's just too quick, gets the spine buster. Just pops in, opens the door, drops Ubato in the center of the ring. And I think they had to fix the ring after this match, because right after the spine buster, Damon gets him up, rings the arm, and gets the persona non grata in the exact same spot on Ubato. Just two devastating moves in Damon Ace's arsenal, as though anything else needs to be any more devastating about Damon. Two of his greatest finishing maneuvers are two of the most impactful moves that you can give somebody in a wrestling ring. And he does end up beating Ubato tonight, and Damon Ace advances on. So your starting lineup, 2 for 3, but you really can't, fault Ubato here. He draws Damon in the first round, and it's just a power slugfest. Who was going to get the biggest, most impactful move first? And Damon won that race, and that's why Damon is in the second round right now. And Damon making it out of the first round this year is devastating to the rest of the bracket, is it not?
Oh, it is, considering he didn't make it out of the first round last year, unfortunately.
Can you imagine how pissed off he was in this match? And to make it to the second round, he's going to be a force.
Oh, it wasn't an easy walk in the park for Damon in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he was facing Briscoe last year. I mean, Ubato's Ubato. I mean, he's a grizzly veteran.
Wicked.
Regardless of his
Wicked.
appearance, he's been in there for a long time. He knows that square circle in and out, and it wasn't an easy challenge for Damon, but Damon took care of business and didn't get knocked out for a second year in a row in the first round. I also wanted to point out there seems to be an issue with your starting lineup when it comes to Ubato, because after this match, man, he went after poor Teddy.
You see him choke him a couple times?
Yeah.
Excuse me, on the outside?
He's becoming a loose cannon. I don't know. I mean, granted, that was only your starting lineup's first, only loss of the night, but that's definitely not a good sign if you are Kendrick, Briscoe, and having Ubato just going off the rails like that and going after the towel boy of all people.
Well, I mean, we've seen it over the last month or so, or even a little longer than that, Ubato will come out and do things the your starting lineup way. He'll do them the way that he's been coached, I guess, if he understood some of it. But sometimes we've seen him very quickly revert back to old tactics, chokes and holding guys on the rope with his boot kind of thing. And, we've seen him kind of flutter back and forth across that, I don't know what you want to call it, the rules line, I guess you could say. So sometimes the refs don't really know how to take him. And I'm sure sometimes even the coaches themselves don't know how to take him. Now, I shouldn't say the coaches. Teddy is not the damn coach. But apparently the water boy didn't know what to do tonight. Ubato did not need a drink. And he kind of saw Teddy as cannon fodder on the outside to be destroyed. However, that's not the guy you're supposed to be destroying. About to find somebody else.
Where's Bobby Boucher when you need him?
Oh my goodness, he is out searching for that high quality H2O. Maybe that's what it is, John. I think you just gave me an idea. We have never figured out what Teddy's tackling fuel is. We've never figured it out. He's been in there with the West Texas Legacy, got absolutely annihilated. We've seen Curtis Cole.
Wasn't his fault.
Wasn't
his fault.
No, but then we saw Curtis Cole just annihilate him one night.
Probably was his fault.
All right, that one probably was his fault.
Probably was his fault.
But through all these times that Teddy has just been manhandled by superstars in RMP, he's never found, in all these weeks and months at being at training, he's never found his tackling fuel. Bobby Boucher found his tackling fuel.
What was it? Do you remember?
His tackling fuel was when everybody made fun of him. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks. We need to find Teddy's tackling fuel, or his wrestling fuel. There it is. We need his wrestling fuel. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm not around him enough, and that's not a bad thing either. But it has to exist.
Post a comment below if you think you have an idea of what Teddy's. There's triplets. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I know. There's so many of them.
Leave a comment below on the video here of what you think Teddy's tackling fuel will be. And also,
it's got to be something.
And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to Rocky Mountain Pro and this video. And make sure the bell is on for notifications so you don't miss a single Dudes and Belts live show or charged episode or live ignition. Mountain water goes Jen.
Wow. Isn't it all mountain water out there?
I mean, literally right next to the Rocky Mountains.
I mean, you probably have some of the freshest tap water like in the whole United States.
Although you guys definitely have some watered down beer over there in Coors Light, so.
Well, there's a lot of rookies out there that need easy beer. Myself being one of them. I can't sit and hang with you guys. I drink Coors Lights. Ham it on 3 of them. But anyway, we'll talk about that
When
later.
was the last time you had a beer? Of any kind?
November of 2021.
Wow. We definitely need to break that streak next time we're down in Denver.
It was that Friday night after we lost the playoff match at the World Championships when we got eliminated. We went into the bar and I had a beer.
Bossy will help you out with that. Just go see Bossy next time.
Oh, I ain't hanging with him. I seen what he does. I seen what they do. No.
Why not?
No. Because I've been to be a star, brother. Oh, I know how that gets.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, it's a thing. Jen Go still needs to have a beer with you guys. There you go. You can go with Jen.
Absolutely have a brewski with Jen next time we're out there. Absolutely, if time permits. Yes.
All right. There's a couple more matches we got to talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
Next matchup, Brew versus the other half of your tag team champions in Caden Koyama. Fared a lot better than his brother Johnny.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You're not going to pull the wool over Koyama's eyes that fast. That's just not going to happen. And even Lucas and Derek Stone on commentary were giving Caden his flowers as being one of the better if not one of the best technical wrestlers in RMP. And to be honest, this journalist has to agree with that. We've seen him fight bigger, we've seen him fight smaller, and we've seen him stick to his game, stick to his guns, and usually do very, very well. And tonight was no small example of that. As a matter of fact, it was a very big example of that because Brew is a far bigger competitor. And Brew comes to the ring with that fire that Brew Mark has been bringing. Koyama tries the fast start. Brew's not having any bit of it. Big, huge shots, just a couple slams. Koyama does end up coming back with the advantage, gets the forearm to the head that everybody has been using because they know it's Brew's one bad spot right now. And, injury being one thing, this is one of those things that goes beyond injury and people are still targeting it. So for that, you win Scumbag of the Night, Koyama. But he's doing what he thinks he has to do in the match to beat Brew. Beautiful leg drop. We see him with that really tight chin lock that he likes to use.
You can't blame Caden for that.
No, but I don't have to like him either for doing it either. I don't have to.
No, it's fair. But
yeah.
You can't blame him because Brew is voluntarily going in the ring knowing of his condition.
I understand that. And that's why, he can do what he wants, but in my mind, he wins Scumbag of the Night for doing it. It's not illegal. I understand that. But the way I look at things, I wouldn't. So it is what it is. But Koyama finds ways, other than just knocking Brew in the back of the head, to get his advantage back against a much larger competitor. Brew comes flying off the ropes. Koyama follows him in with a knee right to the breadbasket. Keeps the big man down. Now Koyama's thinking. He gets that big chin lock again. Actually, I'm sorry, excuse me. Shortly before that chin lock, he's got Brew in that corner after that knee. And he gets on him and he puts the knee in the throat. And the ref's admonishing him, yelling at him, counting to 5. Koyama walks away. Brew gets into a corner, and now you got Preston interjecting himself on the outside, choking Brew in the corner, while Koyama's distracting the referee. So Koyama has a couple reasons why he wins Scumbag of the Night tonight. There's number 2. So he's got a couple good reasons out there. But the chin lock is applied again, really, really tight. Koyama does execute the chin lock very, very well. Crowd is going banana sandwich right now for Brew to get back up. Brew's throwing his horns. He's banging on the mat. He's doing everything he can. Just get some of that energy. He does end up breaking out. He gets Koyama up in the world's strongest slam, brings him straight down. He goes for the buffalo run in the corner. Koyama gets out of the way and rolls him up out of the corner, pulls the tights as hard as possible. And Brew is now also, like Curtis Cole was earlier this evening when Bruce pinned him, now Brew is basically rolled up into 3/4 of a pretzel, and ref doesn't see the tights getting pulled. He's looking at Brew's shoulders as he should. and 1, 2, 3. So 3 reasons Koyama wins Scumbag of the Night, but the 4th thing that he won was also a ticket into the second round. And I'm not saying that he can't do these things because he did, but Koyama showing again, he'll do whatever he has to, whatever it takes, whatever he wants to win a match. And tonight, it births him into the second round.
I mean, you can't really
Yes, I can.
doubt Caden Koyama's tenacity here.
Doubt it?
He
No.
made sure he moved on.
Very true.
So there is still a member of the law office in this tournament. And all bets are off at this point. So, and you also got to watch out for Johnny as well, now that he's out of the tournament officially. In record-breaking time, by the way.
Record breaking. We didn't mention that. Notice how my face popped up when we got to make fun of Casanova some more.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Well, we were told that that was the fastest victory in Ignition history for Kendrick Laro.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was 4 seconds. They rang the bell, the boot, and then Spicer counted to 3. It was 4 or 5 seconds. One or the other. But either way, one member of JK Pop is out. One member of JK Pop is in the second round. And that is really, really dangerous for whoever is going to face Caden.
However,
Koyama
I will say during this match, Brew seemed, even though in a losing effort, looks a lot better than he did a few weeks ago in charge.
That's a fact. I may have glossed over a lot of the match and such like that, but Brew is a force. When he is in there and he is feeling good, he is that Brew that we saw last year in the Grand Prix and a lot of the earlier part of 2022. But when they hit that button on him, unfortunately, he's already fighting an uphill battle and then having to fight another superstar across from him. But when he's there, man, he's looking good.
He did look good in this match. Tough break for Brew here. Getting knocked down in the first round, but you know he's still going to be around. He's in the midst of that chase for 5 still, so he'll get his shot. All right.
He will. As I look up, he's sitting at before the tournament because I don't think we're doing points in this tournament.
No,
correct?
no points.
And so as it stood before the tournament started, Brew was sitting at 2, right in the middle of the pack there, 1 or 2 wins, and he separates himself very, very quickly.
Yeah. So he'll be there eventually.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He was my pick to win it last year. Honestly thought he was going to win last year.
All right. Main event time.
Yeah.
What a rematch, huh?
Yeah.
Skye Horseman versus Balam Links to finish off the first round of the Grand Prix of 2023. Yeah, I like that. There you go.
That was good.
And not bad. Look at that.
It rhymes this year. The Grand Prix of 23. It rhymes this year.
Beauty.
Thank you, Calendar, for giving us some content. We appreciate that. Yeah, no, you said it. The rematch here. And these fellas did not forget each other's faces because as soon as they get in the ring, they start jaw-jacking to each other. And they're both talking some smack. And if you can read lips, I'll let you understand what they say because I can't repeat it here. But these are not 2 friends looking at each other saying, all right, let's go have a match. They were letting each other know what they thought of each other in a extremely negative connotation. And as soon as the bell rings, man.
You also got to remember what happened a couple weeks ago during that Ignition Championship match.
We know what happened.
Yeah.
These are 2 guys that are not friends and don't want anything to do with each other, but unfortunately have to have a first. Can you imagine if this match was like a Final 4 match? You know, like the one to go to the final. This match was already super intense as it were. Very back and forth, and both guys showed out in this match. They both did well. Can you imagine if this was later in the tournament instead of the first round and add that level of intensity into the peanut butter and jelly sandwich? That would have been
always
huge.
Got to make it into goddamn food, man. What's wrong with you?
It's what Italian boys do. It's what us good Italian boys do. We make a lot of food references. I make a lot of food references.
I understand that,
really
but it's almost 11 o'clock over here, and I'm starving, but I know I can't eat anything, so.
Well, we're almost done. We got one more here, big match to talk about here, and then we can each go and get some food. I got some pizza waiting for me afterwards as well, so we'll get it done.
Asshole.
Shut up. But anyway, so Balam and Skye, they come out at the bell, slugfest in the center of the ring. Links ends up pulling off the first advantage. Couple punches, big elbow to the top of the cranium. Skye goes to the outside. Links hits a huge plancha over the top rope, just dives right down on top of him, takes Skye down. Crowd goes nuts. Everything's going good for Balam Links right off of the bat. Ends up rolling Skye back in, misses the big springboard. He went for the springboard senton this time. A lot of times we see the forearm, but he went for the senton this time. Skye ends up getting out of the way, taking advantage. Now he turns it around, same thing. Big kicks, nice snap suplex, back to the kicks again. He's just trying to wear Balam down. Links ends up fighting himself up. It's still a little too early for him to stay down at this point. His own kicks and a nice, beautiful standing leg drop. Then he gets Skye in the corner.
There's
Skye gets
pineapple
out
on
of the
Mark's
way.
pizza, by the way.
There is not.
I was just
pineapple.
reading Psycho Joe's comment, what is on the pizza, and I said pineapple, sir.
It will never be pineapple in the Massholes world. The Masshole is not a pineapple on Pete. Masshole is a basic pepperoni.
Masshole is pizza on pineapple.
No, it's not. That's illegal. That's what that is.
Illegal. Ask Mr. Happy. It's not illegal.
He's in a different state. It doesn't qualify.
What do you mean it's in a different state?
It's not. It's different. He can tunnel to different dimensions and stuff where it's legal. And
You're
he can bring
right.
it back.
He could be here right now.
He could be. He could be out in the bowling alley right now. I have no idea. But I mean, I hope
delivering you a pineapple on pizza.
I'll pass it on to somebody else who would appreciate it more than I would. Let's do. I don't like wasting food either. We'll pass it on. Damn, you messed me all up.
Pizza on pineapple, man. I'm telling you. It's worth a try.
I have tried it, and I don't like it. It's weird.
All right, somebody ban Psycho Joe. Pizza and pineapple doesn't belong together. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
You can't ban him. You can't ban him. He has a good, very, very, very valid opinion. Jen is on Team Pineapple.
You're damn right.
Okay. And I'm not knocking it.
And I know Mr. Happy is on board, and I know Mr. Fourth Row's on board. I'm 3-1 right now.
3-2. Me and Psycho. We'll take you guys on the handicap match.
That's right. That's fine. Because there'll be more. There'll be more.
We'll eat 3 pineapple pizzas before each of you 3. I'm sorry, 3 pepperoni pizzas before each of you eat your own pineapple pizza. Guarantee you, we'll eat 3 pizzas before you each eat 3.
Spicy Hawaiian, man. That was my first love of Colorado when I first went there. Spicy Hawaiian, baby. Add some jalapenos in there.
We gave Mr. Fourth Row a good idea. He's like, dude, I got a merch idea. You would think Joe would like it because it has Canadian bacon. Well, yeah, but Canadian bacon is just ham.
It's just ham.
I went up and I asked the first time, like, Masshole Mistakes. We should have a thing called Masshole Mistakes. One of the first times I went to Canada, not only did I ask for a tonic and got myself a thing of soda water, but I asked if I could have Canadian bacon on my pizza as opposed to bacon on my pizza when we went out for pizza, and I got ham on my pizza, and I got upset because I didn't know. It's this week's Masshole Mistake. Don't make it. I made it for you. You don't have to do it.
It is actually a good little channel points award thing that we could probably do. Because you have made some mistakes in the past.
Yeah, we all have. You don't get to 41 without making all of them.
True. Yeah.
You still got some doozies to make in your life too. You're still a young man. You're a younger man than I am. You still got some doozies to make.
I got plenty of time to make mistakes. I'm not worried about that.
Well, I'll tell you who really did not make a lot of mistakes here was either one of these guys, Skye Hossman or Balam Links. You like how I brought that back? Because we had to bring that back.
We needed to, yeah.
We needed to bring that back, and there was no mistake here. Balam Links ends up fighting his way up after all these kicks and that suplex.
I'm sorry. I just saw that. I've never seen that before.
What is pea meal bacon? There was no bacon in this match.
Not at all.
No.
And what is
No.
pea meal bacon? I'm gonna look
I
that
have
up. Hold up.
I've never heard of that. You
got
look
this.
that up, and I'm going to go through the rest of the match. Let
Go
me
right
go
ahead.
through the match before we keep talking about all this monstrosity. Pineapple on pizza and all this other thing.
Yum.
Links ends up fighting his way up after the big suplex, drops his own beautiful standing leg drop. Skye rolls to the corner, but Balam misses the avalanche. And here we go, back the other way. Skye pulls him out of the corner. Nice slam, big elbow. And he's working Balam's left arm like on purpose. He stretches his arm, stretches the fingers. We've seen Damon Ace manipulate the joints before. Skye Horseman taking a page out of that book and kind of trying to rip Balam's fingers apart here. Almost gave the Vulcan salute while he was doing it. But anyway, he's working the joints, and then he wraps Balam's arm in the rope and he kicks the elbow. Like, now he's got that plan. He obviously came to the ring with the plan. It just took a few minutes to get it executed. But now that he's got it going, you can hear Balam screaming in excruciating pain over here. Big knee to that elbow, and then he drops him in a beautiful arm breaker across the knees. Skye, we have never said anything bad about him as far as like how he goes about him. The best thing I think we've said is that he does have an enormous amount of intelligence in that ring. He sees a moment, he capitalizes on that moment. That's something you can't take away from Skye Horseman. Ever since he's been in, he's done nothing, especially for us here at the Dudes and Bells. He's been very, very impressive. There's a reason why he won that match and was the Ignition champion. There's a reason why he got to 5 points as fast as he did. And there's a reason why he was the first man to cash in that Ignition title for a shot at the Charge Championship. Didn't win it. But I'm telling you, he's doing a lot of very good things in this young man's career. He's doing very well. Now, he's got Links down, almost dead to rights. Gets a near fall after he kicks that elbow. Balam Links is how athletic this crazy kid is, man. He kips up from the ground and catches Skye's head in a head scissors in the middle of the kip up. Like, go back and watch it. It's going to blow your face off when you see it. He gets him into the head scissors and then a gorgeous spin kick. Can't pin him very tightly, though, because that left arm is junk right now. Skye's attack is really taking effect. Balam hooks on a chin lock that's not as tight as it could be. Like I said, that left arm, so Skye powers out of it, slams Links in the corner, dodges the Swanton bomb. We just keep going back and forth here. We get to the meat and potatoes of the ending of the situation. You see Skye Horseman going up for his brain buster. This is two guys that both like to use the brain buster. Goes to get Balam up. Balam, again, kind of dead weights himself, gets him down. And we see Balam's version of the brainbuster, which is this gorgeous. He hooks you up, rolls back, and then rolls you up and bang straight down into that brainbuster. And Balam Links gets the big win over Skye Horseman this time, when there was no interference and when it matters most, to be honest. Because now Balam has another chance to go back after that Ignition Championship this way, even though he kind of took the shaft the other way. But here, going into Balam Links' match tonight, Balam Links is the man. Moving on into the second round. And we're going to talk in a few short minutes about this second round matchups that we have, including Balam has one of the most unique and interesting second round matchups. His partner Echo comes out to congratulate him after the match, his partner in La Isla. Johnny, Echo is Balam's opponent in the second round. Are they good enough friends to survive this?
Yeah.
This is big.
Yeah. You're looking at two former number one contenders for the Ignition Championship.
Fact.
It'll be good friendly competition because they have their eyes set on other people as well as a team.
That's true. The JK Pop thing is not over.
So I expect a friendly competition between these two. And it's going to be a show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm picking that to be match of the week. But anyway, pea meal bacon. You ready for this?
What is pea meal bacon? Do I want to know, first off?
It looks like doo-doo, but I'm going to read it anyway.
Is this one of those things that like somebody says, but you should never, ever, ever Google?
No, it's not, not that bad. Pea meal bacon is a wet, cured, unsmoked back bacon made from trimmed, lean, boneless pork loin rolled in cornmeal. It is found mainly in Ontario, Toronto.
Had to be Canadian.
Oh, yeah, I believe
It
that's where
had to be Canadian.
I believe that's where Psycho Joe's from. Anyway, case in point, it's a freaking another name for ham. Wrapped in cornmeal. Because it looks like a slab of ham.
I mean, I'm interested if it's wrapped in cornmeal. Like, is it deep fried? Or is
it's
just
wet,
sprinkled?
cured, unsmoked, back bacon made from trim, lean, boneless pork loin. So it's a pork loin.
Yeah.
Think of like a tenderloin or something, right?
Yeah. No, I know what a pork loin is. Yeah.
You just roll it around in cornmeal, and then it's not smoked, and then you cut it up, and there you go.
Okay, we have Game Bunny, we have Psycho Joe in the chat. Can you please help us out a little bit?
It's the Canadians in chat, yes.
Right, and that's why I'm addressing them, because they're gonna know more. Is it something that you cook? How
yes,
you
cook it.
Is it? Well, I'm just saying, if the bacon is cooked and you roll that in cornmeal, I don't know if you deep fry it after. Traditionally, if you bread something, you would fry it afterwards to like seal that.
Well, yeah.
You wouldn't. I'm just asking because I never heard of the damn thing.
I walked into a conversation about Canadian bacon. Yes, you did, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Yeah, we got off topic with all this bacon chat.
We're not taking shots at Canadian bacon. We're just trying to figure out what pea meal bacon is.
All I said was the bacon chat. That's all I said. I didn't say we were taking shots at it. I didn't say we were taking shots at it.
But it looks like a slab of ham. It's exactly what the picture is.
Let me see. All right, wait a minute. Wait.
Go ahead.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
And it's lathered in cornmeal. PEAMEAL bacon.
Yeah.
Do.
Okay. It's
a slab of ham, right?
No, not necessarily ham, but like a pork loin. Mrs. Pins makes a pulled pork all the time. She takes a pork loin itself, puts it in the slow cooker, puts her spices in it and such.
Yeah.
So that's a pork loin, as I've ever known it. But
yeah.
It's like, so the cornmeal is like a rub, and you would bake it, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
You said bacon. I think bacon. I think American bacon.
That's what it's called, though. That's what they call it in Canada, is pea meal bacon.
I wouldn't call that bacon. I would call that like crusted pork loin. That's like it's a pork loin with a cornmeal crust.
You're not wrong.
It looks delicious.
You're not
Don't
wrong.
put any pineapple on it. You'll be fine.
Yes, or pan fry it in slices. That's what Game Bunny's saying.
All right. Actually, that make little cutlets out of it. That sounds cool.
Put that
in a sandwich. Little cheddar cheese on top of that.
Maybe put some panko on like the sides that are not covered in the cornmeal. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go.
Whoa, what is Wrestling Zone?
Hello, Wrestle Zero.
Wrestling Zero.
Wrestle Zero. Letting us know that Max.
CSTEL. I can't do this. It's not the night for guessing games here.
Max Castellanos. That Wrestling Zero is just showing us that they know the alphabet.
Oh. Well, you're missing some letters, sir. Anyways.
But dude, what an ignition tonight. We got
huge
through the whole
ignition.
First round. We had 8 matches. We had an upset. We had a no-show. Sergey didn't show up. Atiba kind of gets the bye. We had the fastest match in Ignition history.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. I think the mask went further than the ball. I mean, what what more could you ask for out of a first round? This was fantastic. This is a great way to start the Grand Prix tournament, and we're only one round in. 8 still remain. We still have 4 big matches.
And boy, what a second round in the Grand Prix tournament this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, before we do that, before we get into the graphic and the matches that are coming up next week, who is your beacon of the week, sir?
Tonight?
This week. Beacon of the week.
My beacon of the week, it regardless of everything else, it has to be Briscoe Crown for fighting on one leg, beating a man twice his size and advancing with his finishing move to the second round. I have to pick Briscoe.
Gonna have to go with Damon Ace. He was the
That's valid also.
He was the winner of the 8-man main event on Charges this past Tuesday. He also moved on to the first round here in the Grand Prix. He's got his eyes set on that NRW championship. He is rolling.
He is.
Can't argue with that. All right. Where's my cursor? There it is. Okay. Let's give you guys an updated bracket of the Grand Prix tournament of 2023. All right. So this is what we have here. Your second round matches include a rematch from Aces Wild, Damon Ace versus Bruce Wayans. Briscoe Crown, the bracket buster himself, is moving on again this year in the second round, going up against Caden Koyama. I believe Briscoe made it to the semis last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he lost in the final 4.
And then we have Balam Links and Echo La Isla having to compete with each other here. And then we have Kendrick Laro versus Atiba, who basically got a bye, but also fought. So he's it's a bye in the tournament, but he's just as banged up and warmed up as all the others in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and again, another big shout out to AJ Hero for being wicked pissa tonight on Ignition.
Oh, for sure. Now, we'll go back to that graphic in a second. What are you seeing in the second round that's intriguing you going into next week?
Aside from the Balam Links Echo match, which I think is going to have all eyes on it, the Damon Ace Bruce Wayans match, which is, again, going to have all eyes on it. I don't think Caden Koyama should take Briscoe Crown lightly, even though he's on one wing. He's only got one leg at this point. He's hobbling to the ring week in and week out. This kid finds a way to win. Don't take him lightly. Don't go out there. Don't toy with him. Don't mess with him. And if you're Briscoe Crown, bro, you got to show up with the team. You got to show up with the team. I don't see a future where Koyama comes out without the law office behind him, or at least at the bare minimum, just brother behind him. Briscoe, you better come out with Kendrick or
Kendrick's going to be worried about his own match.
I know. Come out with not Teddy.
With not Teddy, please.
come out with not Teddy. If you have to come out, if Kendrick hasn't had his match yet, hopefully he can have you back. But this might be a time to sit down and, buy Ubato some dinner if you can afford it, because I'm sure that man can eat half a restaurant by himself. He's just different kind of human being, man. But yeah, I'd take him out and I'd try to smooth him over and see if you can get him out back on the same page. Maybe leave Teddy at home and bring Ubato with you, because Koyama almost never comes out by himself. He almost never shows up by himself. He's always at least got brother with him.
And then there's... Sorry, Psycho Joe says, does include Worlds Collide for the Beacon of the Week. We gave our beacons. Let us know in the comments during or after this video who you guys think the Beacon of the Week is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
No. What's interesting me is that this Atiba and Kendrick Laro match, it's just catching my eye. Not that the other ones aren't, but this is
go back to the bracket.
a time. Yeah, I want to go back to the bracket here real quick. Kendrick Laro has been having himself in your starting lineup one hell of a season since Milestone 12 last year. Your starting lineup has been doing very, very good, even in the absence of coach. Yeah, they've had some downs, but I think they've also had a lot more ups than downs. The way Kendrick won tonight, he knows for a fact that's not going to happen against Atiba. Atiba's not that dumb to go running into Kendrick Laro like Casanova was, and always will be. But I do think that Atiba's going to have to bring something extra against Kendrick Laro. I think that this year, Kendrick saw the attention that Briscoe got last year. And not that there was animosity or jealousy. But if you're in this business and if you're at this level, you have to have some level of ego that says, my time. This is for me. And I think this year, Kendrick Laro is going to be that man that steps up and steps out and finds his way into the semifinals or even the finals and makes his own impressive showing this year. I really think that, even though Atiba got the bye and we know who Atiba is and we know what he can do, I really think Atiba is going to have to bring something extra against Kendrick. Kendrick has that hunger to get there for the first time right now. And so that's something Atiba has already tasted the top of this mountain. He's been to the top of each of the mountains in RMP. Kendrick Laro is only at the beginning of this journey. And I think that's going to be something that really sparks Kendrick all the way to the semifinal or the final. At least I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping for big things out of the big man. So I'm looking at that match. And I'm going to pick Kendrick Laro as the upset of the second round and beating Atiba because I think that is an upset. I think we have to be honest with that.
I don't think there's any upsets in this bracket right now.
I think that would be one. I think if Laro beat Atiba, I think that would be
if he had
an
to pick
upset.
one, yeah, maybe.
Right? And even Briscoe Crown beating Caden Koyama. Now, like on paper, if it's one-on-one, if Briscoe beats Koyama, it's very similar to Laro beating Atiba. It's a younger guy, a lot newer, just only been around for a year or so against these crafty veterans that have been around for a long, long time and have found multiple ways to win matches. This is the time for your starting lineup to step up and make people keep talking. Not that they haven't been, but you guys, both of you guys getting to the Final Four would be absolutely huge. Wherever coach is, there'd be this auto smile that would go across his face knowing that his fellas are making it this far. And if Briscoe can make it out of the first round against Ramrock on one leg after Rock destroyed him, and he can find a way to hit that crowning achievement on a man that size, he can find a way to get it done against Caden Koyama. Those would be my two picks for the two upsets of the next round, if it can work. However, things aren't always even. Not that matches don't always go one-on-one. So we'll have to see what happens next week on Ignition because these four matches are going to be absolute fire.
Well, I can tell you right now, there's two matches that there's a good chance that they're going to steal the show. Now, I don't know. We don't know the other matches on Ignition. There will be others. But as far as the Grand Prix tournament, I mean, I'm looking at the top two right now. Those top two matches. First off, Damon Ace versus Bruce Wayans. You know what happened at Ace's Wild. And you know that's still bugging Brucey.
Yes.
And you know the mood that Damon's in and where his focus is.
Damon could be the most laser focused he's been in a long, long time.
And then you look over.
Scary.
And then you look over to the right. You have two men who has become one of the more successful tag teams in Rocky Mountain Pro. Currently have their eyes set on JK Pop in their tag team championships. And now they're going to be seeing each other eye to eye across the ring from each other next week. In Balam Links and Echo.
And that's huge. I asked you the question before, and you said a very, very convincing yes, that they could absolutely survive this. But, John, you got to consider.
You want to know what I'm considering? You can't sit there and tell me that JK Pop isn't going to be sitting front row for this matchup right now with Balam Links and Echo going face to face on each other. This is like the perfect scenario for JK Pop going into Never Broken.
It really is. It absolutely really is. like I said before, if the odds are even and the sauce is as sweet for everybody as it should be, then we will have one hell of a match that will absolutely make the crowd explode. However, the sauce is not always usually as sweet for everybody as it should be. And to be honest, I do expect there to be some shenanigans from the law office in that match. Maybe playing the guys against each other. I don't know. See, that's one of La Isla's greatest strengths that they possess is their bond, their camaraderie between each other. Their talent is impeccable. They're in sync. They know exactly what the other's going to do before they do it. The only way you can attack that is by attacking that link that they have between them. And I don't think even JK Pop is strong enough to do that. Honestly, I would see Balam and Echo stopping the match and going out and dealing with these knuckleheads and then shaking hands and coming back in and finishing a good competitive match.
Oh, if El Presidente is watching this show right now, he might give an order already to make sure that JK Pop is banned from the arena during that match.
That would be awesome. So we can actually have that good competitive match that blows the roof off the Wimmer. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
All right. I'm seeing a lot of comments, and I lost my chat for a second. Saw a lot of comments about Beacon of the Weeks and stuff. We typically look at the Beacon of the Week as the entire week. So any RMP wrestling that happened during the course of the week, whether it's Charge, Ignition, or if it falls on any pay-per-view or special event like we had last Sunday with Hugo's versus RMP, we take that into consideration as well as the full 7-day week. And that's how we typically come up with a Beacon of the Week. And by the way, Coastal invented it, so that was kind of his
It
rule.
was invented by the Coastal Crusader. Yes, it was.
There was something that Lady Catherine said in YouTube chat, and I wanted to find it again real quick. Oh, okay. Lady Catherine found a recipe for the pea meal bacon. Yes, we're going back to food. What else is new here on the Do's and Bells? And one of the recipes looks wow. Called for grade B dark maple syrup and 18 spices with that peel bacon. That actually sounds pretty good.
I think every recipe calls for maple syrup somehow, some way in Canada. Is that a thing? Like, because a lot of times you could turn that into molasses and such things like that. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of rubs and things like that. Like I've been around Mrs. Pins' family while some of the ladies are cooking in the kitchen, and maple syrup and molasses is like absolutely everywhere.
That's right, Game Money, you're right. Don't forget Skye, too. He already cost Balam the Ignition title.
He did.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, during that second round match, I'm sure the law office and JK Pop will not be too far behind. They'll be waiting for an opportunity.
That match really needs to happen on its own fruition and not necessarily be decided by other jack-o'-lantern looking.
We need to have a lumberjack match to keep JK Pop away from the ring.
That
basically
would be awesome. Presidente Peligro, if you're watching, book it, please. We're like an armed guard match where they block the.
Can we have a lumberjack tag team match for the tag team championships, and let's see how the locker room really feels about JK Pop? It's a good idea, actually. Heck, we love making maple syrup candy. That's good. That's good.
Maple syrup candy? What is maple syrup candy? I've never had that.
It's maple candy, basically. You can have like hard candies. You can have soft, chewy candies. It's all fucking maple flavored.
All right. That sounds interesting.
Ah, it's good.
Yeah.
It has to be made in the snow. Whoa, okay, you lost me there. Hold up, time out.
Of course it does. No, it's the Canadian way. It has to. They don't have refrigerators up there. They just throw stuff in the snow in July. It's still snowy up there, isn't it?
You take the hot sap and pour it. Oh, never mind. Okay, I get it. All right.
That's legitimately a thing. You pour the hot actually out into the snow? Really?
Well, why do you need ice if you have snow everywhere?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Just saying. What happened to
That
this show?
confuses me because I always grew up hearing "Don't eat yellow snow," and they're out there eating brown snow. Isn't that worse?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna come up with a new show here very soon. It's gonna be called Dudes and Belts Food Review.
Food review.
Food
Yes.
review. Maybe that'll be a segment on Sunday nights too with the rewind. As we'll just do Dudes and Belts Food Review Hour. There you go. Someone send these gentlemen some maple candy. Yeah, me.
I'm gonna have to grab some. We're going up to see Miss. We're going up to see Miss Pidd's family later this year up in Upper New Brunswick, Canada. Her family's from that whole area, Atlantic provinces up there in New Brunswick. So I'll have to grab some.
Foods
Lucas
and belts.
Bradwell says
foods and belts. It's about right.
That's fantastic. Actually, Game Buddy, if you're going to be there in June at Milestone, I know at least a few of us will probably be there too again this year. Maybe you could sneak us down a couple little pieces. So I know how much I should be buying when I go back up there in August.
What did she bring down last time? She brought those wafers, right? The coffee wafers? Is that what it is?
The coffee crisp? Actually, no, yeah. I think she did drop down some coffee crisps.
It was in the yellow package?
Yes. Coffee crisp. Yeah, it's like to us, it's like a big, thick, like Kit Kat.
Yeah.
It's but it's supposed to have like a mocha coffee flavor. They used to be so much better a long time ago. They're just not the same now. Even the real Canadian, because we could buy those here in America now. Some stores, you can buy coffee crisps that they make for America, but it's different to buy it up there. And even up there, they don't really taste the same anymore. They're not as coffee-y, crispy, whatever that word is.
Coffee crisp. Ketchup, chips, and coffee crisp. Best chocolate bar.
Coffee crisp are wicked good. You can keep the ketchup chips right next to the pineapple that you put on your pizza. I'm sure that'll help with the crunch effect. You can have that.
It's the pizza on the pineapple.
Either way, ketchup chips is worse. Or at least on par.
Never had it.
Missing nothing.
You've had it?
Ketchup chips?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I live with a French-Canadian woman. So,
That's
yes.
true, yeah.
Yes. She adores them, loves them, comes home with bags of them from up there. But not the Lay's brand. She's not a huge fan of the Lay's ones. She'll buy other brands. I don't like them. They taste like between the barbecue, like the Lay's barbecue, like the black bag that we have, and like cheddar and sour cream. I don't know. It's just a weird. Bleh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever catch us on a Sunday night during the Rocky Mountain Rewind over here on YouTube, this is what we'll be talking about for a good portion of the night, because that's how we typically fall off.
See, Game Bunny knows exactly where it's at. Game Bunny brought all dressed chips.
I don't know what that means.
Think about it. Everything.
All dressed.
All dressed. They call them all dressed up there. Ruffles, to me, are my favorite one up north, when we go up north. Ruffles, dressed.
What's in all dressed?
Everything.
Stop saying like everything. What is it?
No. It's like all the flavors mixed together in a powder, and then they put it on the chips.
So like sour cream,
barbecue. I don't think salt and vinegar is a part of that. I don't think salt and vinegar is a part of that. But no, all dressed. They just have their own flavor. They really, it's so good. They are the best inside of a grilled cheese. I love putting chips in my sandwiches. I'm still 7 years old like that. But when I make a grilled cheese in the toaster, I will put, when we have them,
they taste like Italian salad dressing, basically.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I like Italian.
That's a good, it's close. It definitely has, I can't even you just have to have them. You just have to try them. And they're so good. I don't know if we can get all dressed here. I know we can get ketchup here now. Some stores carry ketchup chips down here. But I have not seen all dressed anywhere. Until you get, like, when we're driving to Canada, you get way up north in Maine, And you start getting to those rest areas that are like up beyond Bangor and way as you start getting closer. Some of those foods have permeated down a little tiny bit. But
the best thing we have they don't is the Kinder Surprise. Don't we have Kinder Surprises?
not like they do.
Oh, it's different.
Not like they do. Because some kid down here was dumb and just took the wrapper off the egg and just ate it. Except in Kinder Eggs, they put the toy inside the chocolate part of the egg up there. It's like a hollow chocolate egg. And there's a little toy you could like take out. It's like a little Lego thing or something. It's about the size of like a quarter. It's not that big. It's just something for a little kid to like put together a little robot guy or a little something and play with it while they're eating chocolate. But some kid down here like ate one and ate the chocolate pieces. So down here, we have the Kinder Eggs that's split in half. It's in like 2 separate packages. It's shaped like an egg, right? But it opens like in the, oh, I should do it that way. It like opens in the center and the chocolate part is over here and the toy part is like on this side.
Okay, so Johnny gets 2 bags of chips all dressed in ketchup. Got it. Yeah. If you guys are coming down to Denver in June, which I believe that's probably going to be our next stop, you guys can more than welcome give me food care packages. I will more than happily accept them.
Dude, you will destroy the chips. The all dressed, you will love them. You will absolutely love them.
A hollow chocolate egg made of milk and white chocolate.
Dude, the Kinder Eggs are some kind of different chocolate.
We need
so
to
good.
Stop. Save it for Sunday, guys.
You started all this with throwing in your pineapple shenanigans.
Because Mr. Happy was in chat and it just made sense. But that was supposed to be the end of it. Now we've gotten to food care packages coming in June, which I'm all for. So
you had a plan the whole time. You and Skye Hossman knew what you were doing before the day even started. Skye said, I'm working Balam's arm. And you're like, dude, I'm getting Canadian snacks. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I knew this was a thing, damn it. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's why the Dudes and Belts is so fun. I know we do this kind of stuff at random. And you never know when it's going to come.
I'm bringing home a box of caramels with me when I go up there. I'm going to the store and I'm taking the box right off the shelf and I'm taking them all home.
Dude, we'll have to go to Casa Bonita when you come out. It reopens in May. What's Casa Bonita? Is that a Mexican place?
Sounds like it. The beautiful house.
It sounds like a beautiful house. It kind of does.
No, that's what Casa Bonita means.
Sure.
The beautiful house. They probably got
money.
wicked pizza tacos.
Hey, I didn't ask you to go get the chips. You offered. I was just going to accept them. That's all. I love this shit. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah.
Thank you, lady. We go off on our tangents.
This is basically our Sunday night, so. And I don't even think it's just food. I think we've talked about other stuff too, but it's mainly been food recently. That's a big pink building on West Colfax. You have Dorito Cool Ranch down your way. That's like a staple here, Joe.
Do we have Doritos Cool Ranch?
Yeah, the blue bag.
Yeah, the blue one. Yeah. We've had Cool Ranch and Nacho here in America.
Oh. South Park episode,
forever.
Casa Bonita. I remember that one. That was a funny episode.
Yeah, at least I can remember ever since I was a little kid, even in the 80s, you could buy nacho cheese Doritos, you could buy the red bag, or you could also buy the blue bag, Cool Ranch.
Now they have like green bags and light blue bags and yellow bags and orange bags and purple bags. That's the sweet chili one. That's actually pretty good. But yeah.
No, still an old school red bag, Doritos, cheese, nacho cheese, Doritos. Still the best chip in creation.
I mean, if I had to pick between the red and blue, it'd be the blue. But
You'd pick Cool Ranch?
Oh, yeah. But I will eat the red, too.
Oh, yeah.
The South Park guys. Oh, we're going.
Trey and Matt?
Yeah, we're going. We got to check that off when we go down there.
I'll have to look that episode up and watch it. It doesn't ring a bell. I don't know why it was
That could
so
be a
funny.
thing, milestone. We will bring all something cool from our areas. Where did I get last time? I think last year I got a bag of sweet chili from one of the fans. And then
Those green chilies.
Green chilies.
I remember green chili was a thing. We were all talking.
Oh,
Before
green
last
chili.
year's
Yeah.
milestone.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did I say sweet chili? Green chili. I had a whole bag of that. And then we had the coffee crisp from Game Bunny. With like a bunch of other stuff too. We've had a few gifts.
We'll have to bring them jars of fluff. You guys know what fluff is? You ever heard of fluff? That's like a wicked New
Does
England.
anybody know what fluff is? Whether you're
guys know what fluff
Canadian or
is?
American.
Yeah.
And if you're
I know
from
it's a wicked New England thing. It's a huge New England thing.
and if you're in New England, hush hush.
Right.
Game Bunny knows.
Game Bunny knows. Yeah. What's fluff? Yes. Game Bunny got it right. It's marshmallows in a jar, melted perfectly. Yes, marshmallow spread. Thank you.
So it must be a Canadian thing too.
No, it's not. It's a New England thing. It is just a New England thing. Maybe by this point, it's actually gotten to some other places.
Oh, the stuff they put in fudge. I think they put fluff in fudge.
Yeah.
Not a lot though.
Sometimes it's different than just putting regular It's not just marshmallow. It's like some other flavorings in it as well. You guys call it marshmallow cream? All right. Yeah, I guess. Same thing.
Wah, wah, wah.
Choosing fudge. All right.
So they know.
Okay. What else do we bring them? A bowl of chowder or something? Doesn't keep very well going across the country.
No. Lobster won't either.
No lobsters. We can't do lobsters. Dude, a fluffernutter. Yes! Game Bunny. My favorite 3 a.m. snack right there, dude. Fluffernutter sandwiches.
Oh, it's so
But
good.
a quarter inch of peanut butter, quarter inch of fluff. My favorite bread, I use the Canadian white bread all the time. It's like the thicker white than regular, just normal white bread. Oh, you got to have the Canadian bread. Or the potato bread is a good substitute also. That's not bad. Potato bread to me is better on a grilled cheese. Like if you're grilling in a frying pan with the butter, the most unhealthy way possible, potato bread all day. All day.
Oh, we got off topic. I didn't even talk about next week's events. I'll do that on Sunday. Might as well do it on Sunday anyway, because it'll be within days.
Thank you for watching Foods and Belts.
Yeah, thank you for watching Foods and Belts Reignited here on YouTube.
Johnny Death Nuts and Maki Pitts.
Where we talk about a little bit of wrestling, but mainly food.
Right now, this show is fluff. Yeah, we did fluff this one up a little bit. Yeah, but I'm not a fluffer. I'm not a fluffer, so don't say that. We're not fluffers. We just fluffed it up.
This is kind of what happens when we only have two dudes on here anyway.
Triple I's the fluffer.
Hey,
all right, end the show. End the show.
You're not supposed to say that.
What are you talking about? This
You're not supposed to say that.
I can't say that?
No.
I didn't know I couldn't say that.
Think about it.
I know. Am I lying though?
I'm not saying that you're lying, but shh.
All right. All right, end the show. All right, let's get out of here. Before I screw up again.
All right, guys. Obviously, there's a lot going on next week. We'll go through everything with you on Sunday because we will be live on Sunday as well with the Rocky Mountain Rewind. Don't forget, no Thanksgiving all show long for about 2 hours, and then probably the last half an hour of the show will probably Foods and Belts. So, because that's what typically freaking happens. So,
Good night, game buddy.
So don't forget 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time over here on YouTube and Twitch. Other than that, guys, we're going to wrap up both shows at the same time because there is no viewership on Twitch. So we're just going to end Twitch right where it's at, and we're going to end it with YouTube as well. So we're going to sign off like one big happy family tonight. So... thank you all for watching this chaotic show. Not really chaotic show, just a fluff another sandwich show of Dudes and Belts Reignited.
Way to bring it full circle, bro.
Well,
way to bring it full circle.
Obviously, when we just talked about fluff, I mean, you kind of have to end the show with a fluff another sandwich type thing. So there you go.
Do.
There you go. So, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Again, the second round is going to be great. Make sure you tune in for the rewind on Sunday. And make sure you tune in for the go home episode of Rocky Mountain Pro Charge Before Never Broken on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You will know more about what is going to be happening at Never Broken in terms of matches and everything that's going on between David Drake, Sledge, Damon, Yaden, and the rest of them going into Never Broken. Do not miss that episode. I expect you all to be there live during the premiere. And then after that, we expect you to be there on Recharge so we can talk about everything leading up to Never Broken.
Yes.
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 And if you're good, then maybe, just maybe, we'll bring some fluff another nutter sandwiches down to Denver in June.
No, I'm not going to do it. End the show.
Fluff another sandwich?
Never mind. Nope. That wasn't it at all. Good.
Oh, I know where your mind was going. Yeah, that did kind of sound weird. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. All right. On that note, guys. What?
Wait, we got to give Mr. Fourth Row a quick plug here. He just said that there will be a preview episode of RMP Radio 4 Never Broken coming up very, very soon, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check them out, RMP Radio.
Is there a date and time for that?
He did not put it. But keep checking RMP Radio. It will be there, I'm sure, sometime early, maybe middle next week, before Never Broken.
Just trying to look at this real quick.
Okay.
While we wait for Fourth Row real quick before we sign off.
Recording early next week. So I'm sure sometime middle, before
so
Never Broken.
Wednesday-ish. Probably Wednesday. Something popped up over here. I'm just double checking, making sure. All right. There we go. All right, guys. We're signing off for realsies, okay? So, for myself, super serious. All right, guys. For myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Marky Pins, and all the fluff and other sandwiches around the world, we will see you guys on Sunday for another episode of the Rocky Mountain Rewind over here on YouTube. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, warm up your peanut butter and fluff, and we'll see you on Sunday. Later, y'all.
Nom, nom, nom.